Reincarnation. Reincarnation is something that I don't have to listen to Sylvia Brown. I don't have to listen to nobody. Simply because my angel took me through the process. I don't remember how old I was, maybe 13 or 14. But anyway, one day I was just laying in bed reading. My angel popped up. And she said, "Do you feel like traveling?" I said, "Yes. Why not?" Next thing I know, we were in the largest library in the universe. The angel called it the Halls of Records. But when I go in some of these life after death rooms, spiritual room, people say, "It's not called the Hall of Records. It's called the." And people say, "Why you don't argue with them? Why you let them talk to you like that?" And here come the reason I don't argue with them. When an angel and God tell you something, what the point of arguing? You don't have to argue. Because the angel and God is the last word. You don't argue with idiots. Now, if I tell you that my angel took me to heaven, to the house of record, that was the angel called it, not me. You human and you think I'm a contradict angel or God because of what you say? One thing I want everybody to know. When I talk, I'm talking from experience. I'm talking the words of an angel. Every word out my mouth when I make these videos about the spiritual realm is an angel talking to me, not me. So everybody else in the room, when y'all get the idiots who come and quoting the Bible about what this and what that, and that you ain't talking to no angel or that you ain't never saw God, don't listen to them. They idiots. They pure evil. They want to take away your belief. Don't listen to them. But anyway, the angel took me to the house of record. It was the biggest library you ever want to see. The library was so big, it didn't have floors. You levitated. You levitated. And it feels like you standing on floors. To me, it felt just like I was still on the floor. But in reality, I can look down and see for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles down. That's how big the library is. And the angel, it was like she pulled out of like a tall file, like a regular file cabinet, but it like half the, it probably 4 foot or 5 foot high. She pulled it out. It was a bunch of rolled up parchment paper, like architectural paper. And she showed me a bungle. I mean, so many I can't even count them or see how far they went. And she said, "These are all your past lives." And I say, "Really?" She said, "Yes." I said, "Why so many?" She said, "I've been your angel for millions and millions of years, David. This is not your first rodeo." I'm like, wow. Then she showed me a file of my future lives, and it was in the millions. And I got sad. I said, "Why so many? I don't want to come here no more." She said, "David, but you must. Because when you come in front of God, You have all your lives in your hands. And once you sign that contract, it's your duty to live all them lives, which accumulate into eternal life. You may have to live some of them lives hundreds of thousands of times to get it right. And once you get it right, you get out of that loop and go on to the next life. But whatever you do, try not to get stuck in that loop because it could go on for eternity. And that is what is basically, I guess y'all humans would call hell. Hell is not a fire or burning fiery pit. It's your soul repeating over and over and over again. It's what y'all human are called a restless soul. You feel tired all the time. You feel like you done did this for eternity. You done did something for eternity. That's a restless soul. So you want to get out of that loop. But once you complete all your life, you will have eternal life. And when you reach eternal life, you can come and go as you please. Even if you decide to come back down to earth, when you go back, you still have eternal life. You never lose that. And me, myself, I see that as almost as a God factor. You know, once you reach eternal life, you're your own God. Because you decide what you want to do. God no longer tell you what to do once you reach eternal life status. So everybody want to reach that status. And then she showed me, when she showed me my future life, that what we talked about, you know, why I have to come back so many lives, and she told me about the eternal life status. But then she showed me my present life, and I say, can I see the date I'm going to die? And she said, are you sure you want to see that? God, I must get God permission to show you that, because that could interfere with your journey. And I said, interfere how? And she said, because the closer you get to that date, the more panicky you're going to get, the more scared you're going to get, the more mistakes you're going to make. The more you're going to try to avoid that date. I don't think it's a good idea, she said. And I said, well, no, forget about it. I don't want to see when I'm going to die. And I say, but tell me something. Why did God wanted me to see this? She said, God said, for your next life, you must have no fear whatsoever of death, David. If you have any ounce of fear, it will interfere with your journey. You must have no fear, David. And I said, well, what's my journey? She said, God don't want to reveal that. You will know in due time. So to me, reincarnation is a must. Remember what the angels say. When we come in front of God, we don't have one life. We have all our lives. Which probably way over 1 million from what I seen when she was showing me the blueprints. And you must complete them lives to reach eternal life status, which makes sense. So now you hear it from the horse's mouth. The words of an angel. The words of experience. What I experienced along with an angel. God's angel. And next video will be about the point system in heaven. Thank you and God bless.